Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about why narcissists have a constant need for control. This is really the root of it. Narcissists really need to control everything. They need to control their environment. They need to control you. They need to feel that control in order to feel superior. And they need that control in order to feel some kind of peace, all right? But what causes this need for control? Well, when you look deep into what's really going on within a narcissist, narcissists are filled with anxiety, all right? They are control freaks. And people that need to control everything are anxious people, okay? Anxiety is a very, very powerful thing, a very dangerous thing. And anxiety comes out in different ways, okay? Some people can have anxiety, they could become hoarders, all right? Some people can get anxiety and it could be so intense they could have panic attacks. So anxiety is a very, very, it's nothing to play down, okay? Anxiety could cause depression. Depression could cause suicide. All of these things are deep-rooted in anxious people that do not feel a sense of peace. Narcissists do not have a sense of peace. And a lot of this is deep-rooted into their childhood, okay? A lot of them had childhood trauma or they were the entitled child. But in either event, they did not feel any sense of peace. This is why a narcissist can never be happy, never be satisfied, because they don't have peace within themselves. And when you look into this and you look into it in a spiritual way, like people say, a narcissist is a broken soul, okay? So when you're a broken soul, you're not at peace. And what happens is evil manifests other evil. What does that mean? That means that when you're in an unhappy person, a lot of times unhappy people become evil people. And evil people don't like anybody else to be happy. This is why a lot of narcissists, it bothers them to see other people happy because of their deep-rooted unhappiness. And people say, well, what are they so unhappy with? Well, a lot of it has to do, again, with their childhood. Childhood development has a great impact on somebody and how they're going to live their life. If you came from a very toxic type of background, it's going to leave a scar on you. But with a narcissist, they're not able to, look within themselves and self-reflect and understand those scars and be able to heal from them and move on and live a happy life. A narcissist blocks out their pain. Okay? How do I know? Because I've dealt with so many narcissists and they've even told me they block out things, all right? Because they don't want to deal with shame, they don't want to deal with pain, and they don't want to self-reflect. Like I had a gentleman ask me and he said, well, how do you know that they're afraid of getting hurt? Well, for one thing, one of them actually told me that. When the relationship broke down and everything, he finally broke down. He said, well, I was just afraid of getting hurt, okay? So, and I've seen it in other narcissists as well. Everything that a narcissist does is to protect themselves from getting hurt because of this deep-rooted fear within themselves, okay? They are not resilient people. They are not people that can bounce back easily like somebody else. This is why they're so sensitive to criticism. This is why they tell you you're sensitive. Narcissists project onto you everything that they feel within themselves, okay? That's why a lot of narcissists will say, oh, well, you're cheating. They want to think of you as cheating so that they could justify their cheating, okay? because they can't deal with the shame and because they don't trust anybody, all right? They're afraid of getting hurt. And all of this is because of the anxiety within themselves of getting hurt. From that anxiety that they've developed along the way through their childhood traumas, all right? Or maybe they didn't feel loved, all right? A lot of narcissists never got love from mommy or daddy. So a lot of them have mommy and daddy issues. A lot of narcissists, they'll tell you that you're the problem because they want to shift all that shame onto you. But what you have to think about, you guys, is this, all right? They do internally, they are a nervous wreck, but they put on a good face. They mask it. They try to portray that they're happy. They try to portray that everything's great. I always tell people, the more somebody tries to prove something to you, is the more that you know that you're dealing with an insecure person, because secure people do not have to prove that there's something. But when you meet a narcissist, and this is a huge red flag that you're dealing with a narcissist, they always have to prove something. They have to, they always want to earn your trust. They always want to feel like you trust them, okay? Why? Because it gives them a sense of security. Okay? Narcissists don't feel any security. This is why they bounce around. They don't trust anybody. Okay? This is all deep rooted in that anxiety. See, we talk about anxiety and you used to hear it on the news, and you hear about anxiety, this, that, and everything else, right? And some people understand the extent of damage anxiety can do, and some people don't, all right? I've seen anxiety to the fullest, you have never seen anxiety like you have with a nonverbal autistic kid, okay? You have never seen panic attacks like that. You have never seen aggression like that. And all of that is deep-rooted from that anxiety within themselves. And narcissists have that anxiety as well. Maybe not to that extent, mind you, but everything that a narcissist does is to soothe that internal strife within themselves. And theretofore, that's why they have this need for control. Because when you control things, it puts them at ease. Now they're at ease. Now they know that they've got you. Now that they know they have a backup if things don't work out with you. Now they know that they have money stashed somewhere. The covert narcissist has money stashed somewhere. They don't have to worry if you screw them over, okay? They do everything that they do, you guys, out of fear, okay? So they want to protect themselves. Everything that a narcissist does is to stay one step ahead of you, to protect themselves. This is why, too, they separate people. They may have mutual friends, they may have mutual family members, and the narcissist divides. And people say, well, why do they divide? Why does the narcissistic parent divide the siblings or divide people in the family? Because again, they're afraid. They're afraid of those family members getting together and aligning against them, okay? Or it could be the same thing with narcissistic friends. They don't want you to be too friendly with their friends. They want to divide. When there's an argument, they want to be the center so they can control everything. They play both sides to the middle. It gives them control. They don't want their connections aligning with each other because then they could align against them. But I'm getting off tangent. But what I want you to understand is this. When you really sit back and you think about it, okay, one of the ways you heal yourself is to understand the problem that you dealt with in understanding about the narcissist. If you were an honest person, a straightforward person, you weren't a liar, you weren't a cheater, you were a fair and impartial person, and this narcissist, discarded you or treated you a certain way, understand this. The problem wasn't you. The problem is that you're dealing with a narcissist who's never happy, never satisfied, filled with anxiety, and always has to have the next best thing to make themselves feel better, okay? When they, put other people down, it lifts them up and makes them feel better. It makes them feel superior. See, when a narcissist feels, when you really look at it, when a narcissist feels inferior, what is that going to do? What is that going to do to anybody? That's going to create anxiety and stress. And they don't want that because they've already had that childhood stress growing up. So they protect themselves to always be one step ahead of you. And why do they do that? Because they don't have trust, okay? They don't have trust from their childhood development. Maybe they didn't have a family structure of a mother and a father that they felt that they could trust or they felt safe with, okay? So now they get involved in their relationship later on in life. They think back on what they went through in their childhood and they say, oh, that's not going to happen to me. I'm always going to be one step ahead. Or I'm never going to get cheated on. I'm going to make sure I always have a backup somewhere because they can't deal with it. They're fragile individuals, very, very fragile individuals. Now, understand this. Just not everybody that has a narcissistic or toxic family life becomes a narcissist, okay? Not everybody does. But the weaker child, because narcissists are internally weaker than the average person. That's why they do what they do. That's why they're a coward. That's why they have to hide things. Cowards do these things. And they're bullies. Bullies do these things because a bully is a basic coward, okay? But there are individuals that are stronger mentally or that are, in my opinion, spiritually, are filled with that Holy Spirit that say to themselves, yeah, I can acknowledge I came from a toxic household, but I don't want to be like these people. They can acknowledge it. They can face that shame. Why? Because they walk in the truth. They don't care about their image the way the narcissist cares about his or her image, all right? Narcissists are very fragile individuals, and fragile individuals are insecure, and insecurity can be a very dangerous thing. An insecure man is a very dangerous man. An insecure woman can be a very dangerous woman, all right? Now, I'm not saying everybody that's insecure is dangerous, but a lot of narcissistic people that are insecure can be dangerous. And when I say dangerous, what I mean is they will look to hurt you, okay? Any which way. They will look to hurt you because of their jealousy. They have the spirit of Cain where they're jealous of others. They are envious because of that internal emptiness within themselves. They can't self-reflect and look inside themselves and say, there's something wrong with me, because they just can't handle it. And why is that? Because they're fragile individuals. They're fragile, but they'll never let you see that. And they portray the exact opposite of who they are. That's why when you meet that narcissist, they seem very self-confident. They seem very self-assured. They're going around telling everybody what to do and everything. That is a front. Understand that. That is a front. That person is a basic coward. How do I know that? Because I've dealt with these people. I've dealt with these people that fooled me and made me think that they were strong, that they would have my back. And when they were up against somebody else strong, they put their tail between their legs because they knew who not to play with and who not to, and they will not have your back because they are a basic coward. They are cowards, all right? But that need for control, getting back on point, that need for control, you guys, is based from that anxiety, those fears within themselves, because they are afraid of getting hurt. They're afraid of anybody getting over on them. They're afraid of being looked at as an inferior person because they already internally feel that they're, beneath you. Internally, they feel less than the next person, but they have to put on that facade, that front to fool everybody and to fool themselves. They're trying to fool themselves because internally they're very deeply hurt people because of that poor parenting and because of whatever genetic component is involved as well. There is a genetic component because everybody is born with an innate type of temperament. So certain people, like I may have one kind of temperament and a sibling of mine might have a different kind of temperament, and we may come out of the same household, but because of our temperaments and how we deal with things, one can move forward and not be toxic, and the other one can become a narcissist because they're insecure and they have to put on a facade to pretend that there's something that they're not, all right? Because of that deep-rooted insecurity within themselves and their anxiety that, they need that control. That anxiety is what causes them to have to control everything. And by controlling everything, it eases that anxiety, okay? So this is what it is, you guys. This is what it is. But the thing is, when you get involved with a narcissist, you could be a happy person. You could look at life in a very optimistic way. And when you get involved with a narcissist, you're going to come out a totally different person. You're going to come out anxious. You're going to come out nervous. You may even start being a hoarder because of that depression and loneliness that they made you feel. So you attach yourself to objects. You may find yourself in therapy. You may be on antidepressant pills because of all of that anxiety that narcissist had. They put it all on you and sucked it into you, and you come out of that relationship a mess. You come out of that relationship a mess because that narcissist projected all of those toxic things onto you, shaming you. They put all that shame onto you, telling you you're the problem. You don't know what you're doing. You have mental issues. You're crazy. When in fact, it's all the narcissist. The narcissist was the toxic one who made you feel that way. They put all that shame on you in order to control the situation, get it off them, make themselves feel better by blaming you, okay? So you see what I mean? How you have to understand these people. And when you understand, just how fucked in the head they are, okay? Then you'll understand that, you know what? No, I'm not crazy. No, I know what I saw. I am dealing with a toxic person. I am dealing with somebody who has childhood wounds, all right? And who hasn't healed from it and who hasn't self-reflected from it and instead has become, has gotten those narcissistic fleas from their toxic parents and become narcissists themselves and are trying to inflict it on me. Okay, because they're an anxious person. They're a nervous wreck. Narcissists are nervous wrecks. Trust me when I tell you, I've dealt with so many of them. They are nervous wrecks. Internally, they are a mess, okay? But they don't show it. Not all of them show it. An overt will show it. A malignant will show it. A grandiose could show it. A covert narcissist will not show you that. They hold it. They hold everything inside and they don't show you anything. This is their defense mechanism because they're afraid to be vulnerable. They're afraid to show you who they are because they're afraid of getting hurt. All right. That's what it is. So I hope that helps you guys. I just, I was thinking about this. Sometimes I sit there and I think and I'm a problem solver. So I always, I'm always thinking and reflecting and thinking, what is it with this person or what is it with that person? And the only way you're going to really know what somebody's about is to go deep Go deep into that person and look all the way back, and you'll see what you're dealing with. It's like when they do, they do criminal profiles on somebody, and they go into, a criminal's background, their childhood, what the kind of childhood they had. A lot of these people had very bad childhoods, and they come out and they can be very, very violent. Some of them are murderers. They're sadistic. They're psychopaths. They're serial killers. And they have, when you look into their childhood, you see it's messed up. A lot of them, they either hated their mother. Most of them hated their mother. Okay. If you watch a lot of these crime stories, a lot of them hated their mother. All right. But, not all of them. But the point I'm trying to make in this is the bottom line is a narcissist needs control in order to ease the anxiety within them from those childhood traumas that they endured. They were not able to heal and self-reflect and see it for what it was. I've dealt with narcissists where I knew their parent was toxic, and they were still idolizing that parent even after that parent's death. And I'm like, oh my God, they're sitting there idolizing this parent, looking at their picture and idolizing their dead parent that emotionally abused them, because they can't ever look at that toxic parent in a negative light. They can't deal with that shame, even thinking that their parent was flawed, okay? So it's messed up, you guys. That's why I'm saying a true narcissist cannot self-reflect. They cannot self-reflect. That's why they can never repent, and they can never heal themselves and move forward. That's why narcissists don't change, because they can't self-reflect and see what they've done wrong, okay? All right. I hope that helps you guys. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast, and have a great day. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship, and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website, where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio, where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at The Game EXP 123, and also on Instagram, The Game EXP 123. Okay? And have a great day.